Welcome to Weldon Road, Castleford, for the first Academy Challenge Cup quarter-final. A game that would grace the final itself, in fact. Two very good sides indeed. Leeds against Warrington. Lenny Lockton then from Hull, ready to get this game underway. It's Leeds who are going to kick off when the ball is actually sorted out and put correctly on the stand. So the game underway then. Warrington gaining possession first of all. Two excellent sides. I watched Warrington the other night at St Helens. So the early possession then with Warrington. Damien Witter driving in. Lenny Lockton, the referee from Hull. Two highly committed sides. He'll have to be on his mettle as well, the referee. Here's the teams: Leeds, Mayer, Gledhill, Hughes, Golden, Riley, Gibbons and Handley. Field, Hurst, Fozzard, Morley, Law and Smith. And the substitutes: Riley, Wright, Osborne and Gibbons. Their coach, Damien McGrath. The Warrington side: Anders, Wingfield, Davis, Knott, Gardner, Heighton and Close. Witter, Huff, Price, Milligan, Heaton and Sculthorpe. And their substitutes, just three of them: Conroy, Cassidy and Rushton. Their coach, Kevin Tamati. So Leeds with possession. The driving run from Jamie Field. And the ball still loose. Smith getting involved. Gledhill scoops it up.
Good tackle there from the centre, Emlyn Davis, and it had to be. Really had to get down. This Leeds side, very strong indeed. They've virtually wrapped up the Academy Championship, but anything can happen in a knockout cup like this. And as we saw last week, Warrington are a very well-equipped side.
Mayer it is with the high kick downfield, testing Anders straight away, and Anders managing to grab the ball at the second attempt. But a good kick, and it put Anders under tremendous pressure there.
Well, he just lost it, didn't it? The wind just sort of took it away from him. It's not the best way to try to receive a ball.
So the restart by Sculthorpe from underneath the post. Good kick, gaining good ground, but it's picked up straight away by Lee Mayer. Both sides going to have to work exceedingly hard. It'll be a test of fitness and stamina as well. That's Fozzard driving in, one of several players in this young academy side for Leeds who've had some first-team experience. This is Handley. Lovely run by Handley, eventually held up and tackled by Heighton. Ball slung out wide. Chris Smith. Tackler is Heaton. And a drive forward. Is that the first try? Yes, it is. And they're over the line straight away. And a great start that for Leeds. A really good start for them. And it was a great try from close in near the line.
Well, a hook of good work by Andy Hurst. All came about with two very good, strong rushes, and then the linking qualities of Anthony Gibbons getting the ball out wide. Chris Smith, the loose forward, gets involved, but you could see how the Warrington defenders went both ways. The first and second marker were caught out there.
Yes, super work from Andy Hurst. He realised on the blind side they were just caught napping. It really did show great determination to drive over the whitewash. An absolutely great try.
Yes, well taken, and just the start that Leeds needed.
Chris Smith then with the kick. Not an easy one, but the conditions are very good. No wind at all. And Chris Smith steps forward and puts it right the way between the posts. Excellent kick by Smith. So it's Leeds 6, Warrington 0. Ian Knott restarts the game for Warrington. And good work by the Leeds side, who've really started well. Heaton doing some of the tackling. Hurst involved again. This is Gledhill, the winger. Hurst once again orchestrating things. Another good run by the loose forward, Chris Smith. Hurst running from the play the ball and gaining 10, 12 metres.
Good running from the hooker again there, and he really did crash into the second row of Paul Milligan, who felt that.
Lovely dummy by Gibbons. Is there going to be something on here? Gibbons trying to go all the way. They haul him down, but only just. But that was an excellent run by Anthony Gibbons. Now more pressure on the Warrington defence as Leeds try to spin the ball wide. Mayer it is, trying to grubber the ball through. There could be something on here. There is, and it's another try for Leeds. An excellent try as well, and it's John Riley, 6'3" tall, who swooped down to land on that ball, and Leeds have started quite brilliantly.
Tremendous run from Anthony Gibbons, got them into this wonderful position. Good play by the full-back Anders, but he didn't get him into touch, and that was a vital moment. Got the ball out wide. It was beautiful link play. Look how the three quarters linked together. The long ball out wide, and it was the full-back Mayer that just punched it through. John Riley, superb anticipation.
Yes, really smart football here from Lee Mayer. We see him receive the ball from the long ball. He sees the line coming up, slides a grubber kick through into this large in-goal area here at Castleford, and the wingman's just got too much pace there. John Riley for a great try.
So Chris Smith, he's already kicked one difficult one absolutely perfectly. This is a similar kick, but from the other side of the field, of course. Is he going to be as accurate this time? Yes, he is. Another first-class kick by Chris Smith. Well, Leeds have had a dream start here. They lead by 12 points to 0. Well, Warrington will be nothing but shell-shocked as they get the game underway again. They really have been hit by Leeds, who've come storming out of the traps. And at the moment, Warrington just haven't got an answer.
Well, the big problem, Graham, is, of course, that Leeds have had all the possession. Warrington yet to throw any attack. The Leeds side has yet to do any tackling. But what a start. Whirlwind stuff.
Yes, first-class play from Leeds. They're controlling the ball. They're making inroads into the Warrington defence, and the kicking game's superb also.
Gledhill getting the ball to Hanley, the captain, bringing Fozzard in again to drive in, one of the big men in this Leeds side. You have to keep reminding yourself that all these players are under 19 on the 1st of September last year. This is Hanley jinking away and causing problems. Hurst once again. The ball back to the fullback, Mayer, with another of those high kicks which he tries to chase down to the far side, but that one wasn't a good one from him. So the opportunity perhaps for Warrington to just get into this game, and as you quite rightly said, Steve-O, just get hold of the ball. 15 minutes of the game gone, still Leeds 12, Warrington 0. This is Close, good little check and sidestep by Close. Well tackled though by Anthony Gibbons. His twin brother is on the substitutes bench. Here's Sculthorpe with a high kick now, putting some pressure on Mayer, the other fullback, but that was a great take by Lee Mayer, and he's opened up everything with that. He's got support as well. Mayer going one way and then the other. He's still got support. Decides to hold on to it. But Leeds still trying to keep the ball alive, but maybe there Mayer just held on to it a little bit too long when the whole thing opened up for him.
Yes, he had the opportunity to get it out wide, and he also had men on the inside. But what a great take from Mayer, the fullback. On the burst, it was a beautiful high kick from Sculthorpe.
This is Handley. Tackle eventually coming in from Price. Gibbons got plenty of alternatives. Good run by Smith. He's got support as well. Here's another try for Leeds, and it's Adam Hughes who goes in for the try. And once again, you just felt that Warrington was standing back, expecting the worst. And indeed it happened when Leeds had more men in possession and just outnumbered the Warrington defence. Good try by Adam Hughes.
You see the advantage of a quick play of the ball. It came from that run from Lee Mayer, the fullback. The linking qualities, Chris Smith, the loose forward. Two to choose from there, but the centre picking up the try.
Superb play here from Anthony Gibbons. You see the players running the angle, and if Tick's coming late there, Chris Smith coming very forcibly onto the ball. Busts through the gap and offloads there to Adam Hughes. He's got Paul Gledhill there just for good numbers.
Chris Smith then, he's got a perfect record up to now with these conversions. That one he just pulled a little bit, so he misses his first attempt, but Leeds still in an outstanding position, leading by 16 points to 0. So Warrington badly needing some inspiration from somewhere as they restart here. The ball once again with Smith turns, doesn't find the support, and so the tackler is able to get involved. Price there helping out with the tackling. I think Warrington must be short of a shirt there. They're trying to take that one off the back of Smith. Anyway, Gledhill tackle then. Hurst, and again the possession. Adrian Morley quickly up on the break, and the ball is loose, so a chance for Warrington here perhaps. Diving straight into the tacklers. Excellent tackle once again by Field, using his shoulder there on Milligan. Close. Price once again, and what a tackle that was from Fozzard.
Well, this was the first one that they got right into it. That's how the ball came away, but this Nick Fozzard, oh dearie me.
And two Leeds players laid out there, and neither of them have moved. Straight away, the physios onto the field quickly.
Good work from the referee, Lenny Lockton there, who realised there was problems. This is where the impact, both heads just clash. Fozzard and Gibbons, I think it was, that came into contact. They go over the top and crunch time. But wonderful from the referee, Lenny Lockton. Made sure that the player had no obstruction in the mouth. Most of them wear the gum shield these days.
And a sad sight to see, but that's the end of Nick Fozzard's game. He took a terrible blow in the cheek, and you can see just on the other side of his face slightly the damage that caused. So Fozzard going off the field, and he's going to be replaced by Ricky Wright. But nice to see that he's got his senses about him anyway, and maybe even arguing that he wants to come back on again. And David Gibbons coming on the field as well, because the other person in the clash there, Anthony Gibbons, also leaving the field. So two substitutes used. One Gibbons going off, and his twin brother David, younger by 6 minutes, coming on. Warrington then. Will that just give them a little bit of a scent of something? Close, trying to whip the ball wide, but again he becomes enmeshed in that Leeds defence.
Well, he's trying hard as a little halfback for Warrington. Close has gone through a couple of gaps already, but as you mentioned, Graham, they really do need to put points on the board quickly. And they'll be looking, as we said, to their loose forward, Paul Sculthorpe, to try to engineer something.
That's Sculthorpe's kick through, but well taken by Mayer.
Well diffused by the fullback there. Just a little bit too long by Sculthorpe.
Yes, a bit of a waste of an opportunity there, but all credit to Lee Mayer, who'd read the play, covered across and fielded the ball in goal area.
Heaton helping with the tackling. Hurst getting the ball away. Law tackled. Handley.
Yes, Graham, it'll be interesting to see exactly what effect Nick Fozzard and Anthony Gibbons going off will have on this Leeds side. Anthony Gibbons was very much orchestrating the play, and Nick Fozzard was very much providing the bludgeoning up front, getting the yards and putting the big hits in.
Ricky Wright, the substitute. Well, he's certainly doing a great job. Wright bursting down, and the support inside, and the substitute, David Gibbons, goes over and scores a try. Well, one of the Gibbons clan goes off injured, and the other one comes in and almost rubs salt in the wound by going over the line. You can see how pleased he is. David Gibbons, another try for Leeds.
Wonderful break from the substitute, Ricky Wright. You can see that the Warrington defence was pretty slow coming up. It's not a straight line. Once he made through on the first tackle, the substitute Wright did the right thing there. Wonderful support play. David Gibbons read it well. Combination was good.
It's superb football. We see here David Gibbons feeding Ricky Wright. Ricky Wright busts through the tackle of Stephen Heaton. And I like the idea, the way here he's looking around him all the time. He doesn't panic whatsoever. Ball in two hands. Up on the inside pops David Gibbons for a superb piece of support play and a superb four-pointer.
Chris Smith just getting his gum shield in position for the kick. And this is a relatively easy one compared to the ones he has had, but still not simple by any means. But it's good enough, and Chris Smith once again just prods Leeds even further ahead. Well, I said at the beginning of the game this was going to be close. Leeds are proving me totally wrong. They lead by 22 points to 0.
You're watching Sky Sports 2.
15 minutes of the half left. I would imagine Kevin Tamati will be praying that Warrington can get something on the board and then get them in at half-time and get a grip of them, because he's certainly going to have a lot to say.
Well, it doesn't matter what they say. If a side doesn't have the football, and that has been the big problem for Warrington, I'm afraid. They've only had it on 3 occasions, I think, in this first half. The power of Leeds have always been able to apply the pressure and regather the ball after the 6. I'm afraid Warrington have only gone through their 6 tackles on 1 occasion.
Ball back with Mayer, the fullback. Another probing kick, and again putting Anders under pressure, and Anders just not moving his feet perhaps enough, just deciding a little bit late what he was going to do there, and Leeds are down quickly and the chase was on quickly.
Well, we often see, don't we, the fullback there, Darren Anders, was put under a lot of pressure in the opening minutes, and nerves certainly took its toll, and I think it's taken the lad quite some time to settle into it, if he has already. Wouldn't surprise me if the Warrington coach, Kevin Tamati, makes a bit of a change there.
Here's Close, missing one out. Heighton not looking for the tackler and dropping the ball, so once again more possession for Leeds, and Gledhill. Hurst. This is Law.
Yes, I think Graham Stevo's picked it up here, where we've got Ian not looking at the on-rushing tackler, Adam Hughes, but the real point is that Leeds are playing their sets of 6 tackles out. They really are. They're moving it wide, they're hitting the blind side, they're testing the Warrington defence out, and Warrington just can't hang on to the ball.
And they had men overlapping there. If the ball could have been just spun wide, Leeds really catching Warrington out wide. Hanley tackled by Huff. Hurst again able to make ground, the kick through, but that one taken successfully that time by Heighton.
Well, it looks like he went in a little bit late. Either way, the referee, Lenny Lockton, unhappy with it. Wasn't a spear tackle, didn't twist him, he just took his feet from underneath him by the hooker, John Hoff. But this is a bit of relief that Warrington really do need, but look at that, that's where the crunch is coming.
It was Damien Witter that felt the full force of the Leeds tackling, which has been an absolutely outstanding feature of this game up to now. It really has.
Yes, they really are bruising into them, and I'm afraid this Warrington side are taking a backward step all the time. They don't look enthusiastic. They've had it really knocked out of them, and not surprisingly with an opening stanza from Leeds, which was quite superb.
Davies trying to make ground. Huff with the little dummy and the kick forward down the field, but kicks it into touch, and nothing is quite going right for this Warrington side, who were so impressive last week, but they just can't find their form this week.
Yes, John Huff there, you could see the idea. He's trying to put the ball into the corner to exert greater pressure on Leeds. Just a misdirected kick, and what it's done, it's given Leeds the ball on the handover.
10 minutes to go to the break. Hurst spinning the ball away. Gibbons tackled. Hurst once again ready to spin the ball to Handley. Better tackling that time and better defence from Warrington coming up in a line, and but again good work by Hurst from the play the ball. Price helping with the tackling.
Good thinking from the hooker there, realised that Warrington had just stepped up their defensive line, moving up quickly, and that's when you need a real experience of the hooker, running from the dummy half, makes the defenders think, is he going to get the ball out wide, or is he going to run from the set play? This is a replay there, not the best of passes, David Gibbons.
The referee, Lenny Lockton, just acknowledging, I think that a substitution is going to be made. Looks as though it's a blood bin substitution, and yes, the referee has to make sure that the card is raised in order for the blood bin substitution to be made. So Darren Anders has gone off the field. Anders is off.
There you see that wonderful defence again from Leeds, though. I think you'll get him for a little bit being over enthusiastic in the tackle. They've done all the hard work. You see the loose forward Chris Smith just there, and I think he's gone in for attempting to try to take the ball away, even though he didn't make it. He's saying, as far as I'm concerned, you attempted to try to drag that ball away.
Yes, the angelic face of a 16-year-old there, looking a little puzzled at the referee's decision.
I think there's also a little bit of a grab as well. Perhaps the new edict now, of course, John and all, that was forward. That really was a bad pass. Prop forward, Damien Witter came on to that ball far too quickly. But there has been an edict out to all the referees now that if they do see players making any attempt to sort of grab at the shorts and try to lift a man over to perhaps involve them in a spear tackle, perhaps you can see it. That's where the prop forward got a little bit excited, but it was definitely a forward pass.
Mayer once again. Good turn, spinning the ball away neatly. Gibbons, Hughes over on the far side of the field. Hughes is going on his own. Has he got the pace to get round the back? He's got the strength and he's got the support as well. This is Marvin Golden, and Golden is going to go down between the posts. And Leeds are quite simply running away with it. Warrington have got no answer to this Leeds side, who really have come out and taken Warrington apart.
Great to see the confidence in young players. And look at the speed of the centre, Adam Hughes. He knows that he's got the speed outside, and he really does set off. Super stuff there, and on the inside, his centre partner had trailed him all the way. A good combination there, the two lead centres. He got one for his corner.
Yes, we see Adam Hughes here. Throws a little dummy, gets on the outside of Lee Conroy. He's got bags of pace as this kid, pace to burn. He looks inside, and who pops up on the inside? Marvin Golden, who Steve-O says trails him beautifully. He's even got the confidence to beat a guy around the in-goal area under the black dot. Great try.
Chris Smith, who likes to have his gum shield out, apparently for these kicks. It makes no difference. He still puts them right between the middle. So Chris Smith adding on more points for Leeds. It's Leeds 28, Warrington 0. So Warrington restarting and trailing by 28 points to 0. Well, last week we watched Warrington beat Bradford, Steve-O, and we were saying then that this looked like a team that could go all the way. Where does that leave Leeds?
Well, Leeds are a very polished side, you can tell that. But to be fair to Warrington, they never had possession in the first 15 minutes. And I think that has totally knocked their confidence. We saw a few bad mistakes from them early in the first 10 minutes, and they've never really recovered. Their defence is shot to pieces, I'm afraid. There's quite a few of them just scragging at the man rather than going in with a lot of impact. Whereas for Leeds, they are strong both in attack and especially in defence.
And they're attacking again. Morley. 5 minutes to go to the interval. Hurst in the ball slung wide. Handley, Mayer joining in, trying to put a little grubber through, and a mistake by Gardner, but fortunately for him he didn't touch it with his hands and it came off his shins, so it's possession for Warrington. This is not who we've not seen a great deal of, and that was another great tackle coming in from Jamie Field.
Well, we saw on the replay there, it's all about the confidence, and I'm afraid these Warrington players are just shot to pieces. They were looking at the man coming towards them, and that's just a knock-on. It really hasn't been the day. Well, last week we saw the skills of Paul Sculthorpe. He really is a classy player, but had little chance in this first half. Let's hope that things improve to them, but I think there'll be plenty said to the Warrington side and the coach Kevin Tamati, especially about getting their defence organised.
And the ball clearly, well, it seemed to be pushed out of the hands of the player, but Leeds keeping possession anyway, so play on. This is Gledhill.
This really is an absolutely superb performance from Leeds, because Warrington are no bad team, but they're just attacking in every direction. They're offloading the tackle. It's superb stuff.
Law still getting the ball away to Riley. Riley from a standing stop, still able to break away from the first tackle. They haven't really got those first tackles in, as Steve-O was making the point earlier. This is Gibbons. Ball slung wide again, and oh, they would have been in there, but a drop ball. It was a difficult one to take, and Ricky Wright, just getting a short pass, wasn't able to hold it.
Well, Ricky Wright just went overrun it, actually. It was a forward pass. Referee would have called that back, but you can see how they just get involved there. They just run off the shoulder. The timing was a little bit off on that occasion, but they really are a professional outfit. They've been coached well by their mentor, Damien McGrath, who really has them flying.
Milligan tackled. Huff, who's not featured. Driving run from Heaton, trying to get something going for them just before the interval.
Just a little knock on there, I'm afraid. He lost it. Well, things just haven't gone right for Warrington. That's about the first really good run that we've seen from the Warrington forwards. They just have had no possession at all, John, to get anything worked out.
No, I agree with you, Mike. They're their own worst enemies in many cases, making headers early in the tackle count, but this Leeds defence is absolutely superb.
And that's Gibbons. This is Mayer cutting inside. Feeding Gledhill, does he? Juggles with it, but keeps possession. They have to change direction. But once again, Warrington's defence stretched almost to the limit. Hughes spinning it long. Again, the ball going wide. This is Golden. Can't get the ball away that time.
Impressive football again from Leeds. They know how to get a man out. Miss the man out with a long ball. There's always seems to be an extra man there.
Sorry, Steve O'Reilly there with the power. Now the ball going to be switched wide to this near flank. Hanley involved, just checking, trying to dart through the gap. The tackle just good enough. 12 and 13, Heaton and Sculthorpe. Wright trying to change direction. Gibbons flinging it long. Ball wide again, and the breakthrough, and once again they're through. It's a simple one for Adrian Morley. And Warrington just simply have no answer to this Leeds side. They pulled the ball across the field one way, they pulled it the other. Eventually the gap was there, and Morley went through it.
Simple basics of rugby league football. Take it to the blind. You can see how they're all just congested there, this Warrington defence. Long ball out wide, it missed two men. The second rower just steps through easy. I'm afraid this is looking like a big score for Leeds. There you see they're straggling them, they're just pulling men in all the time, John.
Yes, and super feet there from Adrian Morley. Took the ball and checked immediately and stepped on the inside, leaving Graham Close grasping thin air.
Chris Smith then again. Just missed one. He shouldn't miss this, and he hasn't missed it either. So it's Leeds 34 points, Warrington 0. So a recurring theme for Warrington. They have to restart. Gibbons just waiting for the ball to come. The latest try scorer, Morley, then getting possession. This is Gledhill. Forced backwards.
That's better tackling from Warrington. The ball's just loose, so it's play on. Well done by the referee. But it really has been a polished performance. Good tackling by John Hoff there. Assisted through. But I've been most impressed with the way that Leeds have played. Not so much individual brilliance. It's been a good combined team effort. They've known what's happening, the switches of play. They've been talking to each other. Tremendous football.
As Mayer just kicking into the space. Goes through to Wingfield, who switched to fullback after Anders went off to the blood bin. Davis.
We speak about the Leeds attacking play though, Steve Owen Graham, but the defensive play is first class as well. The first up defence, every time they're wrapping man up, they're wrapping the ball up, and even when they're getting half bust, they're swarming around just to clamp the ball. It's absolutely first class stuff.
Well, amazing the difference between Warrington last week and this week. Last week they were running onto the ball looking eager. Now one or two are just standing around. Kick downfield, putting pressure on Mayer, and he's not had too much of it, which is symbolic of the way this first period has gone. Gets away from the first challenge, makes excellent ground. Where's the tackler from Warrington?
Well, that was bad play from Warrington. It was a superb kick from Chris Heighton, but not on the first occasion either that the Warrington cover. They've moved in, and then they've allowed, that's a knock on. But they've allowed the Leeds fullback Lee Mayer really to run riot from the long kicks. There you see the ball just being dropped. Well, not the best look from Adrian Morley at the referee, but I can assure you he was correct.
So 3 minutes into injury time, and again, just a foul at the scrum there.
Well, we've seen a little bit of this these days. The hooker not getting down into the scrum. Saw last week for the first time in many a day. The referee penalised the halfback for feeding.
Milligan tackled. Almost the deepest that Warrington have been into Leeds territory. Great tackle there, though, just when it looked as though there might be the break for Highton. This is not one way and then the other. Brought down, but close to the line, Warrington. Can they just get something before the referee blows his whistle? Sculthorpe trying to drive through. Sculthorpe still going, and it's taking, well, 4 or 5 of them to hold him up, but they do hold him up successfully.
Well, they'll get the head and feet at the scrum here, but good work from the loose forward, Sculthorpe. That's the first time that we've seen his skills on show. But that is good scrambling defence, isn't it? That is teamwork personified.
Close putting the ball in. There might be something on here for Sculthorpe. Spinning the ball wide. Again, Leeds good enough, determined not to give anything away, even at the closing stages of a half that they've absolutely dominated.
Well, a try here from Warrington would certainly lift their spirits to go in at half-time. Desperately need it.
Not tackled. Still going. But held down, says the referee, so penalty. And with Warrington on the attack, ironically, at the end of the first half, the referee, Lenny Lockton, blows his whistle. That's one of the try scorers for Leeds, Adrian Morley. But they've gone over and knocked in 34 points altogether in an outstanding first half for this Leeds side. They've really taken the game to Warrington. And I would imagine that the Warrington side at half-time, that Kevin Tamati, their coach, might be thinking, let's hustle them straight onto the coach and home. But they've got another 40 minutes to go. The half-time score, Leeds 34, Warrington 0. So Leeds 34, Warrington 0. And it's very much damage limitation as far as Warrington are concerned. I would think in this second half, it would have to be a remarkable turnaround for them to get even a sniff of getting back into this game. Warrington at the start of the half have made a couple of substitutions. Emlyn Davis has gone off and Lee Rushton has come on for him, and Darren Anders, who we saw go off to the blood bin in the first half, has come back on the field, and Lee Conroy, who substituted for him, has gone off. But the pattern looking as though it's going to be repeated, with Leeds getting early possession.
Well, that's the start that Warrington needed. Just took his eyes off the ball in the second row of Morley. The inside. A nice little inside pass as well. But look at that defence. It was the highlight of the first half. Obviously, the Leeds coach, Damien McGrath, said just keep it going, boys. And at 34-0, you can't blame him.
Close to Highton, to Sculthorpe, to Knott. Excellent tackle by Golden. Highton once again driving forward, trying to pierce this shell-like Leeds defence. Sculthorpe it was who lofted the ball, but look at that once again by Mayer. He watched it all the way. His eyes were totally on the ball. Look at that.
Solid there. You could see how he twisted his body and then brought the knees up. That protects him. He's been in fine form as a fullback. Of course, an international, John, with your Great Britain Academy, Lee Mayer.
Yes, it's quite interesting, really, because Leeds have got Alan Tate in the first grade, Paul Cook, who's also an Academy International, in the reserve, and they've got this lad in the Academy, so I think they're reasonably well covered for fullbacks.
You can say that again. Paul Cook, in fact, is eligible to play for this Academy side, but he played for the A team yesterday, so got a bit of a bang as well, so decided not to play in this one. But it just shows the strength of this Leeds Academy when a player who's looked so good when he's played for the Leeds first team this season can be left out of the team. Pressure once again on Anders, but he does well that time, Darren Anders. A better start to the second half for him than it was for the first.
Took it well, a lot more confident start.
Again, the Leeds tacklers doing the work on Lee Rushton. Huff with the ball. Milligan.
This Leeds defence game, it's absolutely superb. They're as enthusiastic now as they were in the first minute. And I think it's worth pointing out that in the last 4 games, they've just conceded 2 tries.
Are they going to concede another one now? Close this is with the ball, twisting and turning, but again the cover comes across, and does it shut him out? Yes, just about. Riley, the winger, coming across, and Gledhill, the other winger, coming across. But Warrington, they have space out wide, and they get a try. Gardner it is who goes in and scores it. Paul Gardner for Warrington, so they make a good start to the second half, and at least they won't be beaten to 0.
It all came about from a good run from the centre. Ian Knott switched the ball out wide. Sculthorpe, and beautiful play there by Knott again, the man who started it. And well finished off by Paul Gardner. Well, it's the first real time that we've seen the combination of any passing movement, and they've been rewarded.
Very difficult kick then for Ian Knott, right by the touchline. Can he add on the 2 points? It's not good enough on it. It was the right sort of angle, but not enough height on it. So it's Leeds 34, Warrington 4. Mayer then with just under 5 minutes of the second period gone. Anders gets it straight away to Sculthorpe. He sends it wide to Gardner. Gardner invited to go down the line by Gledhill, and then Gledhill just closed the door on him, shoved him into touch, and the opportunity was gone.
Yes, poor play here from Paul Gardner. It's shown the outside rather smartly by Paul Gledhill, and he just lets him run up the touchline, then pushes him out of bounds for Leeds heading ball after just 1 tackle of Warrington's possession.
So the ball put in by Handley, and once again Leeds driving forward. This is Gledhill. Hurst getting it away. Handley once again. Gibbons, nicely weighted ball into the fullback Mayer. Hurst getting it away. Handley involved once again. Still gets the ball away to Field. Is there something on over on that far side for Gledhill? Back inside, not got a hand to it. So that'll be a knock on.
Well, he's got him for holding the man back, obstructing, not giving him the opportunity. It was initially a knock on there. You can see that the centre, Ian Knott, got his fingertips to it, but in the back play, he held on to the centre. Well, it's a brighter start by the Warrington side. And a little bit high tackle. I think he might have a few words to say. They weren't back the 10 either. There you see it, good shoulder charge. And a little
close. Heighton. Sculthorpe trying to drive through. Still this Leeds defence looking mighty impregnable. Huff from the play of the ball. Can he get over? Yes, he can. Huff is over, and that's another try for Warrington. So a bright bit of work by John Huff there, giving him due reward and just pulling Warrington more into the game. 34-8.
Good thinking. The hooker just threw the dummy. You could see for once the Leeds markers that they were asleep. No second marker at all. The first marker never even made any attempt.
A smart play by John Huff. He sees there that David Gibbons is left on the floor, so that leaves him with 1 mark. It's 1 less man to beat, and he really did run with great determination. Look how low he goes through the tackle there and forces his way over. It's worked out for that try. Well played, John Huff.
Ian Knott then with the kick. It's a fairly simple one, right in front of the posts. He should kick it. He has kicked it as well. So it's Leeds 34, Warrington 10. We've had 13 and a half minutes of the second half. Lee Mayer then to restart the game for Leeds. Straight to Milligan, the ball sitting up nicely for him.
Well, whatever the Warrington coach Kevin Tamati said to his charges, it's certainly working, because they really have come out with a little bit more vim and vigour in this second stanza. And that looks a forward pass, picked up by Lenny Lockton, the referee. Well, that's unfortunate. 50-50 perhaps. Well, he's the man in charge, a lot later than what we are. But a shake of the head from Sculthorpe. Not surprisingly, he thought that they were on a roll.
This is Mayer. Hughes took that one well. Avoided, it wasn't a great tackle, and he's still going, Hughes. And the problems which Warrington had in the first half, rising to the surface again, but Hughes has taken a bang.
Yes, we see here, it comes and it's just too high, really. I think he caught him actually in an earlier incident, and you can see here Darren Anders and we've got Steve Heaton both still going high, and obviously it's just shaking Adam Hughes up a little. Really, I think the Warrington sort of tackling technique is a little bit suspect, because you can see that they're grabbing and they're going high, shirt pulling sort of technique, instead of hitting with the shoulder at the target area. And I think that's reflected in the score.
So, Leeds, the furthest forward they've been in this second period, really. They haven't put too much pressure on the Warrington defence. How will Warrington cope with this now? But ball spilled out, well taken by Golden. I don't think it was an intentional pass. This is Gledhill. Golden once again. Gibbons spinning it along. Handley, interception, and that was very well read indeed by Wingfield, and Wingfield is away, and he'll touch down right between the posts. Well, that was something out of absolutely nothing, and just the sort of thing to lift the spirits of a side who were 34-0 down at half-time. Wingfield read it and winged his way off down the field to score for Warrington.
He read this beautifully. Long ball out wide, and look how far he's come off the wing to take that. The fullback, Lee Meyer, can't believe it. It was a long ball that Leeds have been getting away with all the first half. And I'm sure that the Warrington lads and their coach, Kevin Tamati, are thinking, why on earth couldn't we have started like this in the first half?
Yes, he really picked it up beautifully. Paddy Handley looking to bring Lee Mayer into the line, and Paul Wingfield, the youngster, picked the ball up. Great 4 points there.
Look at the knees stepping up. It's a gamble that he was willing to take, and it's a gamble that's paid off.
There he is, Paul Wingfield. The conversion was successful, by the way, so it's Leeds 34, Warrington 16. This is Huff who accepts the tackle. The kick on the 5th tackle, Sculthorpe. Excellent effort by Smith. Sends Sculthorpe onto his backside, but the ball is got downfield, and Golden eventually getting it under control. Not much of a chase from Warrington. Golden beats one challenge, but can't get away from that of Knott, although Knott gets a boot dragged across his ear for his pains. This is Gledhill.
Good work from the winger there as well. It takes a lot of relief from the forwards. Made good yardage, the winger, Gledhill.
All credit though, Steve-O, to Warrington. I mean, Darren Anders here, he didn't have the best of first halves. He's turned his own performance around, and I think that's reflected in the team performance generally. They've worked hard this second half, they haven't surrendered, and all credit to them, they've come back into the game.
Gledhill plays the ball. Hurst is there. Handley, the captain. This is Gibbons inside. Looked a little bit forward to right. The support is there from Law. Is this going to be a try? Gibbons is tackled. He's about 4 meters short of the line. Ball spun wide again. Handley whipping the ball on. And there's a gap. And the substitute Osborne is over. Did he touch it down properly? The referee says that was a try. So Wayne Osborne, literally his second touch of the game, dives across and puts a little bit more space between Leeds and Warrington.
Sigh of relief, I'm sure, from the Leeds camp, but I thought they got away with a couple of shady passes to build up to this, but let's not take anything away that the link qualities, and the substitute Wayne Osborne gleefully accepts it. This is the link. It's all about getting it sorted out. Beautiful play, a nice step on the inside. Excellent finish.
Stuart Cassidy has come on for Anthony Price as Chris Smith prepares to take this kick for Leeds. So Warrington making another substitution, but Smith, again a difficult kick, but he has kicked so well, and that is another excellent one as well. Superb kick, just driving another couple of points over, and psychologically those kicks can be so important to a team one way or the other. And Leeds have now racked up 40 points. It's Leeds 40, Warrington 16. Ball kicked down the field then from the restart by Warrington. Morley takes it. Not doing the tackling with the substitute Cassidy. Morley with some football skills. Was that a knock-on? Ball goes out of touch on this near side of the field.
Certainly was. Well, a hero in 1 minute, the villain the next. Wayne Osborne. Well, he certainly injected himself into the play. It wasn't the best pass, right round the knees.
Milligan tackled. We're into the last minute of the game. Huff, Heighton, inviting Wingfield to go down the field, but Mayer is there once again. Good tackle, though, by Wingfield. The ball was rather too quick. Was that a try? Did Heighton get a hand on it? Yes, the referee says. So it's another try for Warrington right in the final stages. And Chris Heighton, who played for Northwest County Schools as a youngster, has got his hand on the ball, and, well, it'll be little compensation either to him or Warrington. It's been a comprehensive victory for Leeds, and that was too little too late, I'm afraid.
Consolation from Heighton. This was the kick. The fullback was in good position. This is where the winger gets injured, Wingfield, from here. And he placed the ball down. Good play, though, by Heighton. Once the ball is placed on the ground, you can carry on, and that's what he did.
Yes, good thinking there. Just chips the ball through, and really, he just wanted to score more than Carl Riley. Wanted to stop the try, so all credit to him.
Ian Knott then. Can he add the 2 points? Purely academic. Leeds are through to the semi-finals of the Academy Challenge Cup. But Knott, in any event, drives over an excellent kick. So it's Leeds 40, Warrington 22. That was the final action. So Leeds, who are top of the first division of the Academy